Hello, my friends. Hey. Hello, how you going? Oh, it is good to see you. Hello and welcome to Candid with Cal, our weekly live meetup for Genyus Network, which you are inside our group right now. Please come on in and say hello as you do so. I'm Cal and I'm the founder of Genyus, and I thought that I'd quickly just get the show started by letting everyone come in. I can see people popping in already. Oh, we got hey Kim, hey Emily. We got some people coming in from Australia, the US. Rock on. Another one. Oh, good. Come in, sit down. I'll put the music on, and then we can have a bit of a party because we've got someone very special that I want you to meet. Sit yourself down. Hey Sue, hey Jennifer. What are those things called? The ear blocking things. You know what I'm talking about. To block out the sound. Say hello as you're coming on again, guys. Alright. Let's get this show started. Alright, hello and welcome inside our community. As I was saying before, my name's Cal, and today what I want to talk about quickly is what's going on in our amazing Genyus community. We are a group of survivors and supporters, all people who've been touched by trauma from all around the world, who connect by sharing our stories, and we empower one another by doing so and unlocking one another's prisons, which sometimes we find ourselves within through the power of our own narratives. Hello, Tom. Thank you so much for being here. It's good to see you, my friend. So to move into today, as I said, we've got a bit of a special guest, so I've got to get pretty quickly to that. But I do want to, I would like to talk a little bit about what's going on in the community lately. There's been some awesome things that you probably know about that have been happening in our community. Now I've got to turn my computer up because the vision's a little low and there is an animal just at my feet. So basically, so first I wanted to say, Emily, thank you so much for posting in about your anniversary and sharing with us how impactful our community is for you. Everyone, thank you for jumping in on that thread with Emily. 16 years as a stroke survivor. Woo! You are a superstar, and I know that everyone else feels the same. So if you haven't seen that post and jumped in on that thread, please do so. Emily deserves a lot of love from her people. Clive, Lauren, the other Lauren, and the Lauren Fink and Paul Fink, the Finks. We all talked about, Clive, you brought it up, about casts and AFOs. That got brought up, and I thought that discussion was really good. And I think anyone watching, if you have any effect of using an AFO or any experience of moving from using an AFO to not, or managing life with one, please jump onto that thread with Clive, with Lauren and Paul, because it's it's something that I think that a lot of us can add a fair bit to in terms of spasticity and dealing with that and managing those things that help us get through our days. So please jump onto that thread. But thank you guys for doing that. Also, I've got something that I'll say at the end about you, Jasmine, so you give me a holler in a second. But Varun, rock on, showing us all your stuff about your strength, my man. The work that you've been doing in the gym and through your rehab is so amazing. And as I say all the time to Lionel, who's from Dubai, but, Lionel, you're in India right now. Varun, where you are, all of us working in the gym, working through our rehab, working through all that stuff, but doing it together and showing each other our tips is a really amazing thing. So Varun, thank you for sharing yours with us. Everyone that sort of jumped into that thread was really awesome. Josh, Suri, and Jennifer as well, talking about what you're doing, working out at the gym. Jennifer, how you're dealing with I just called them something before, the things that block out the sound. Remember we talked about them? Because I use them all the time. Because earplugs, thanks. I've got someone in the background, but we'll pretend that they're not there. Yeah. But yeah, I love that. Earplugs. Anyway, I'm saying back on track. Adam, my friend, you talked about stairs and managing stairs, and I need to tell you that the first time I started to manage stairs, and when I realized, you know how when you're taking stairs and you realize, after you've had a stroke, how much our brains are incredible, and they actually, we have proprioception. A lot of us are born with good proprioception, and for me, when I guess lost my proprioception, knowing where I was in space, and also how my brain, when I realized that my brain starts to eliminate the distance of stride that I need as it's processing walking towards a stair, I'm just like, that is so cool. So Adam, rock on for doing that and sharing that with us. And as always, Sue, your positivity, your crazy endless positivity and poetry is so slamming. Actually, slam poetry, that's a thing, right? So get on to doing slam poetry. I think, step it up a notch for us and take a photo. But the last thing I was going to say before I introduce our special guest is Jasmine. You asked a really interesting question to the community about wind and how everyone deals with gusts of wind, and I guess dealing with the extremities, especially if you've got any form of balance problem or if you're managing anything to do with walking. I know for me, actually, if you have issues or you feel like you're managing the extremities when you're outside, please let me know below, because let us know how you manage dealing with gusts of wind, because I know that post-stroke for me, I was quite frail, I guess, lost quite a bit of weight and definitely muscle mass. And so I was like a bloody leaf blowing thing going down the road every time I would just try and step outside. And moving on to that, speaking of the wind and dealing with the extremities, there's a bit of a funny story to come in this with our next guest, who I'm going to introduce you to. But in order to introduce our next amazing guest, I would like to introduce you to a fellow Genyus member, one of your teammates. She's an inspirational speaker, an author, a stroke survivor like myself and many of you out there. She is also one of the most resilient, amazing people that I've ever met. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Emma G.
Thanks, Cal.
Oh my gosh, okay, so I need to cut that music off. Hello, Emma. How are you, my love?
Good.
Now, and can everyone see? Hang on, guys.
Hold him up.
Can you see? That's Gilbert. Gilbert. Yay. Gilbert's a cavoodle?
Yep.
Yeah. So everyone, if you know, if you've got a dog, actually, please, if you've got a feisty dog, please, let us know down below. Put the doggy emoji in. But guys, I want you to meet Emma, and I want you to chat with our community. Obviously, lots of us have met before, but first of all, I wanted you to tell everyone how we met.
Well, I had my stroke due to an AVM in 2005, and I really, at the time, I was working as a full-time therapist and thought that going out into my community would be easy, and it wasn't. And I realised in that the importance of having a strong peer support, which I did not have, and so I was adamant to provide that peer support with people whom, because I didn't have that. And so I began meeting other stroke survivors, and Cal, you were one of.
I was one of the harem.
Yeah, and I have a strong connection with other therapists, and some of my friends referred me to meet with other young survivors like Cal.
Yes.
And so I went up to Geelong and met Cal.
Of course. And I'm sure that you guys, you probably have felt this too, but after my stroke, I felt incredibly alone, and I know you did too. I found that out later. And I didn't know anyone, and my OT happened to know you, being an OT. And I remember we got to meet, and do you remember that, because I barely had any voice at the time, and I remember that I felt really insecure kind of meeting you, and was like, oh my god, she's like the queen of survival. Which, let's be honest, it's like resilience personified. But it was
yeah, it was amazing. And to be honest, I think I've said this to you before, Cal, that when I initially met with younger people who'd survived some ordeal, I thought that I was helping them with something, but I was not. There wasn't that reciprocation. Whereas now, I enjoy. I feel more at people's level.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel that there was a huge gap where we were at in our recoveries.
Yeah.
Whereas now there are many similarities whereby I think over time, there's a lot of commonalities that I definitely benefit from, and hopefully you do too.
I don't benefit from any of those commonalities. Of course I do. No, so can you tell us what you, like, what is it that you do? Because I know, I said that you're an inspirational speaker. I said that you're an author, stroke survivor, resilient superstar. Why would I say that? Other than
I don't know, Cal.
I knew.
Basically I was a full-time therapist and occupational therapist, and in relearning to speak again, I obviously couldn't resume that role because you can't see it, and those that don't know me, I've got significant physical deficits. And I lost the ability to speak, and one way of unleashing that information that was dormant, entrapped inside of me throughout my recovery was relearning how to speak. And so I just began public speaking, and another means of communicating was writing, and that's why I've gone on to publish my book, to try and educate others working particularly with any survivors, and ensure that other people like myself do not feel alone, to try and bridge that gap. And I guess during what I can still do despite having survived an ordeal like a stroke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's really cool. And if you're watching, you'll probably remember this, but something that we talk about quite a bit in Genyus is the idea of, I guess when we all were sharing different like coping strategies and different ways in which we, I guess, rebuild our lives.
Yep.
And one of the things that I know I did is I sort of fell into this habit of redefining in order to realign.
Yep.
So redefine to realign.
Yep.
And that was kind of like a bit of a mantra that I had, and I know that lots of us, Lana from Dubai just, hey y'all, popped in. And I know that a lot of us out there, if you are in team redefine to realign, let us know down below, because I don't reckon we've even talked about that properly. Like even on our Run Melbourne thing, like it's really clear that you massaged what was essentially the value inside you and redesigned and realigned with it.
Yeah. And I think that's something that probably all of us do really grapple with, is that ability to accept what we can't change and go ahead and change what we can. And for me, I was like,
can I write that down? If you need to write that down, just write it down in the comments.
Seriously, I need another coffee, so I don't know what I'm saying. But I think for me, early on in my recovery, I wanted to be the old Em. And become a runner again. And I think I learned over the years, and it's been about 12 years since my stroke now.
It's been 12 years.
Yeah. So, but I think in I say reinventing myself, it was accepting that she was gone and working out what is it from my background, like being a runner, that I really valued, and trying to build that in my life, and I guess apply that in my everyday now. So now I swim, and that gives me the same values as what I used to do when I ran. It's my time out, and so it's I still really feel like I am, in a way, still value the same things as I did.
Yeah. But
the way that I live those values are different.
Yeah, right.
If that makes sense.
And how, like, obviously such a physical change to manage, and I know that lots of us have managed, like, different changes, and some of them you get used to, some of them change as well. Like, I know that even many years later, for me, like, I still get different sensation or return or rebuild. How do you feel about that? Like, I mean, how much have you changed, I guess, over the last, say, you said 12 years, so in, say, this last 6 years, so cut it in half.
I think you do sort of get used to, it becomes more normal. I know, for example, that my left side of my body cannot feel temperature. And so for me, it's normal to check things in the right hand of my body. That's normal. But I think adapting, depending on how your body responds, changes. It's an ongoing process. And I know for me, particularly in the last 6 years, it's been every day. You know, even recently I was quite ill, and I lost a lot of strength, and I couldn't swallow as easy, and so a lot of those things, adapting to that, even though I sort of got used to my deficits, really, there are always things that are, and always new things that I'm grappling with, and those, and they tend to dominate other things. So if I'm more tired, my vision is worse, and my pain's worse.
So how do you manage that? Like, how do you do you self-monitor well? Like, have you learnt to self-monitor yourself? Does that make sense?
No.
No, that does not make sense.
So
have you learnt to, have you sort of, I'm like, do not cut me down in this chat. Have you?
Sorry, girl.
No. Oh, my wife, and our child. No, so have you sort of learnt, in terms of self-care, like self-moderation, have you learnt, okay, so if I do certain things and exert energy, my fatigue hits and I need to manage that? Like, or do you sort of just, because you're pretty full on, like, let's be honest.
Yeah, I am,
Like, you're pretty...
I am. I do know that what are the triggers to me getting more tired, or if my pain's worse. Probably long term, I know that the importance of resting and not pushing through that as much.
Yeah.
Whereas initially I was very, I think being a runner, I was used to just ignoring that stuff.
Pushing through.
So working out balancing that. Yeah. Okay. So, for example, last night I had a physio treatment because I torn my shoulder, and I was in a lot of pain. And I knew that I got up early and did my work early because I knew that I'd likely not be in a good state afterwards.
Oh, okay. What time is that? I'm like, wasn't like 3 o'clock on a Wednesday, was it? Sorry if I've just scheduled a bad time for you.
So, I know that I'm better off in the morning, and I know that if I've got a really busy day, that how to hopefully pace myself to ensure that I get through that.
And I know that you are, I mean, you've opened my eyes to some really awesome strategies of like coping with different sensory issues or like swallowing or, fatigue, like managing any of that stuff. You said before that can change just throughout the day for you. Is that?
Yep.
How do you manage it?
So if it is for example, the weather, I know that when it suddenly goes from hot to cold or really windy, get the temperature changes, that's going to really throw me. So I manage it just making sure that if it's going to be really cold, that I wouldn't go outside then, or I would make sure I wear gloves or... Yeah. I don't know.
You're good with the adaptive thinking.
Yeah, I've just programmed myself to think, okay, what can I do to minimise the impact of that?
Like minimising the impact of plastic straws that you've recently founded.
In saying that, my tea is a plastic straw. I don't know if you can see that in the thermostat.
Well, speaking of your strategies of doing all that stuff, it was your birthday recently. It was your 21st, right?
No, 18th.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
A younger flower. Well, I actually got you a little bit of a gift that I wanted to give you, and now I realise that I'm doing this live on the interwebs, and so you're probably going to not like it, and you're going to have to act.
Yeah, but my facial palsy will mask the full-on excitement about it.
Okay, cool.
Oh, thanks,
Happy
Carl.
birthday, and it's literally just pull it apart. Look!
Oh, wow. That is
Show everyone.
awesome.
This is literally live. This is all just unplanned, unscripted.
Okay, oh, that is so cool.
Is it really?
Yeah.
These are stainless steel straws because you know how there's the big plastic ban happening, the big movement towards reducing plastic, right?
How good is that?
Oh, this is such a win. Your face, don't lie, it's telling me happy. No, so Em was saying the other week that
I love it.
using plastic straws, because you use plastic straws to drink, right? That you would love to migrate to using a stainless steel straw, but because of sensation.
Yeah.
So I personally can't feel my left side, I can't feel any heat. Can you?
No.
So no. Okay. So if you're out there and you've got reduced sensation or a lack of sensation in one side, maybe of your face or something like that, let us know below. But
awesome.
This is like unintentional product placement. But I thought, and it's even come with like a bamboo straw thingy, and it's got silicone on the thing, so it doesn't hurt you so you can feel it.
Yeah, because for me, being a metal straw, I can't feel temperature, so it burns me and I haven't got the control. So it's good having the silicone end that I can control it. Awesome.
I feel so good. That is such a win.
Cal, can I just ask you? Early on, I'm mindful of the time.
Yeah. We've got about 5 minutes.
Yeah. You introduced me referring to wind, and I think you should clarify the connection there, because I sound like I've got a lot of gas or something.
This is the best. I love that you've been holding on to the wind thing.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I've
tangented.
I'm sorry. Oh,
So I'm just...
tell you
what.
what.
I'm worried about what the connection there is, but...
Mad wife. No, so basically the connection between wind has got nothing to do with M's digestive system. The connection between us and wind is that if you've been watching on Genyus recently, you'll have seen that I recently reposted a video of Em and I doing Run Melbourne in Melbourne 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And how many kilometres was it? Too many.
6.
6.
I think, yeah.
Oh my god, but it was great. We had a great time.
Yeah.
But either way, it was so windy. And the funny thing about what us trying to do, we were like, I'm almost falling into the Yarra, Em's trying to hold on to me. I'm like, we're like, yeah, we were a bit, it was the...
Yeah, the wind for me, I guess neither are very big people.
Yeah, right.
I have significant balance issues,
Yeah.
and I have a walking frame.
Yeah. A rock
So
and
I
walking
was
frame.
gonna fly
Yeah.
into the Yarra River that day.
The flying nun.
And
Not
I
even
did
a...
it again on Sunday and run Melbourne,
Yeah.
but the wind held off.
Oh.
So I
No
had
wind.
no excuse to not float in the Yarra. I was.
So did that mean that you
walk this-
came... Where did you come in the race this time?
I've done 4 years very, very last.
It's the best.
So I always get a mascot on a bike collecting the witches' hats driving behind me. And they've packed up everything. So I didn't make media. I raised $7,000.
Oh, just casually just drop that one. Just raise $7,000.
So it was a good outcome, but yeah, I think those that would have made the front of the race would have got all the attention. But I tried.
You
but
bring it
yeah.
home, baby.
Yeah, I
thought it was
that.
amazing that remember we got like a standing ovation while they were packing up.
Yeah, I got also the plastic cups that at the drink stations along the way.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were the biggest obstacles for me this time. They were, not environmentally.
Not environmentally friendly. We need reusable
No,
cups when we're doing
no.
marathons. And if you are walking Run Melbourne, as we did, proudly,
Yep.
you give us some reusable cups. Anyway,
Straw.
with metal, we'll bring the straws. Straws on us. Anyway, I just thought, as we wrap up, what if there was one thing that you've kind of learnt in your 12 years, I'm almost 10, how old are you, 12? If I'm
Yep.
almost 10. Oh,
Yep.
okay. I always thought you were older, but, if there's if there's one thing that you've learnt, like as a message that you could pass on to people that might be feeling isolated, struggling with motivation, or generally just needing a bit of some uplifting uplifting thoughts or message from you, is there anything that you can say that you've learned to our peeps in our community that might be a nice...
I think with support, like communities like this are invaluable, amazing. But I think overall it's, like I always say, it's not what happens to you that matters, it's how you choose to deal with it. And, I think this so often all of us, including myself, just are like over it, particularly when it's, forever.
Yeah.
But it's really, that's cool, that's fun, but you're not alone, and that there are people around you that can help you.
Yeah.
And
Including Gilbert.
Including Gilbert, yeah.
Gilbert
He's
he's
keen to go for a walk.
This is true. Well, thank you. You were the first person that helped me not feel alone. And yeah, if there's anything that I guess we can both say to y'all watching is that you're not alone. We are all here. We're all in it together.
Yep.
And by sharing your stories, you can change someone's life for the better. So thank you so much for joining us this week. Thank you so much for coming along, Emma. With our music, our theme song.
No
Everyone say goodbye to Emma. Bye, Emma.
You guys, bye.
Thank you. We'll see you next week. I'm a genius. Emma is a genius. You're a genius. We're on fire.